Standing with Matt Baiamonte,
Yes.
who's
Baiamonte, 184. Yeah.
who's a boxing trainer.
Yes.
And you trained Matt Damon on this last Jason Bourne or other ones?
Just
too?
the last Jason Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now that scene, that boxing scene, where who knows where he was in the middle of nowhere, it just looked like a really raw boxing.
Yeah, bare knuckle brawl, so it's
Yeah.
pretty raw. Doesn't get any rawer than that one. Yeah.
So, I mean, it looked really real.
Yeah,
So-
it was, you know, the guy we used, Brian Nichols, who fought him in the second bare knuckle brawl scene. He's actually a real bare knuckle brawl fighter that he's from London, and it was a lot of body shots. Like the guys were really hitting each other to the body, to the arms. So it was as realistic as it gets. The only shots they didn't hit each other with were to the head.
Yeah, that's the money shot, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of those shots were also shot at different angles to make them more
realistic. Yeah.
And how much of that were you involved in?
I wasn't involved in too much of it because this was my first time actually working on a fight scene with a movie. I learned a lot from Roger Yun, Gary Powell, who's the head of the stunts, and another guy named Frosty Silva. They actually threw a lot of my stuff in because they liked the way Matt worked, so that was kind of an honor for me to have those guys that are such at the top of their game to come and say, hey, can we use some of your stuff? So I helped a little bit, but I gotta say, like 98% of the stuff was theirs, and I just kind of polished stuff up.
So to prep Matt Damon on this, how much time did you guys put in total?
Matt was training with a guy named Jason Walsh at a Rise movement for at least a year because he's in between movies, so trying to get ready for one movie, finishing up another. But our daily workouts when we were on set were about 2 hours a day, 2 to 3 hours a day.
Yeah. You as a trainer, but Matt as the actor, was there a specific training routine, like eating and working out?
The eating, he had a chef named Ryan Toll, who's a great chef who's with Matt full time, and he put Matt on a diet, and then it was really strict, because I tell everybody this is, picture your grandmother's chicken soup with no salt and no flavor in it. It was like literally, like I had a spoonful of it. It was like eating rubber off the floor.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your background? I mean, has boxing always been part of your life?
Yeah, boxing. I started the love for boxing when I was 5 or 6 years old. When one of my great aunts actually told me I had big hands like Jack Dempsey, and I didn't know who that was. So I started asking. Hey, who's Jack Dempsey? And then I learned that. Then my dad started bringing me fight posters. Actually, my first fight poster was Roberto Duran against Sugar Ray Leonard. So it was, that was my era of I got to see like I call it the golden age of boxing.
Did you see the movie?
I haven't seen it yet. I have to go see it. Matt's good buddy Robert De Niro's in it. Played Ray Arcel, which was one of Angelo Dundee's mentors. So I've been on the road with Matt for the past year. I haven't been able to do too much.
I have to mention, I'm Panamanian, so Roberto Duran,
Yeah, Roberto. I'll tell you a funny story about Roberto Duran. This is true. This comes out of Angelo Dundee's mouth. He said that if Roberto Duran spoke English, he would have been more popular than Ali because he had such charisma and he was so funny. And another thing is Angelo told me that Roberto Duran. Now, remember, Angelo worked Sugar Ray Leonard's corner for that fight. He said Roberto Duran really never said no mas. He said it was just something that I believe it was Howard Cosell was announcing the fight, that Howard Cosell said it and it stuck, and then Howard Cosell built it up into what it was. But from Angelo Dundee's mouth, Roberto Duran never said no mas.
Well, I actually got a chance to interview Roberto Duran this year, and he said he never said no mas.
And that's Angelo, and Angelo wouldn't lie. Angelo tells the truth, especially you're fighting his guy. But he did say Roberto Duran never said no mas.
Well, this year, I mean, with Handsome Stone, and then the other film,
Bleed. Bleed. And I think the poster's actually over here. Bleed for This with Vinny Pazienza.
Yes, I mean, I think both of those films had some pretty realistic looking.
I have, like I said, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen either one of them?
No, like I said, I've been on the road with Matt for the past year, so like looking to get. He finally finished wrapping up his last film on Thursday. So.
Oh, so you're training him for another?
No, he just got done with Suburbicon, so now it's like, okay, we're all free and we can do what we want and go to the movies and all that stuff.
So, well, anything specific that you mentioned earlier that Matt likes certain angles or certain hits.
Yeah.
What were those again that you trained
Matt
on
loves
for
to
the film?
throw the left uppercut and left hook and then straight right, or he loves the whole Mike Tyson right hook to the body and right uppercut to the head. So you'll see that in the last fight sequence. Even in the second fight sequence with the bare knuckle brawl, you'll see those combinations.
And as a trainer, what do you enjoy the most when you're? It depends on the person you're training. What moves to teach them?
Yeah, I like to see them get something, and when they figured out that look on their face, it's like a big smile. It's like, okay, now I get it, and I think that's what brings the joy to me is when they appreciate the sport of boxing. Like a lot of people think it's just you just go and you start throwing punches. And I actually trained somebody today that never done boxing. Like I didn't realize it was so technical, and I'm like, well, that's what they call it, the sweet science. It's literally like playing chess. So like, if you get sometimes you get two great fighters and everybody's expecting this Arturo Gatti Ward fight and it's more technical. It seems a little boring to the natural eye. It's just that you're getting two guys that have been well versed in the sweet science, that they're trying to put everything together. And you go to do a fake move, he knows you're going to do it. So it tends to sometimes be a boring fight.
Is that why someone like Muhammad Ali was such a beautiful fighter to watch?
Muhammad Angelo told me this, he was the first guy into the gym and the last guy to leave. And he really perfected his craft. Angelo had him sparring with middleweights to get his jab quicker. So when you get a guy like that, it's a special guy. It's once in a lifetime. It's also, too, what brings the beauty for Muhammad is also what he did outside the ring, because I think it carried inside the ring, and what he did inside the ring, he carried it outside. So it was a whole mixture of stuff with Ali.
So other than getting some rest for you, now that the DVD Blu-ray is out for, is it Jason Bourne?
Jason Bourne, yeah.
Right. What's next for you?
I'm on cruise control right now. Like I was telling Louis from the other guy, anybody who needs a trainer, I'm on the market for a year, but once Matt gets back on, I'm with Matt. But yeah, so I'm on cruise. I'm enjoying LA.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Matt, let's see those big hands your aunt said.
There you go.
All right. Very cool.